character since, I don't know, maybe second grade. And even before when I was 4 years old, I was doing characters and everything. And it's easy to just step outside and step into, I don't even think about it anymore about, well, what would Tigger say if this happened? I was just Tigger at the time and it happened.
Yeah.
That's all. You know what I mean, I don't want to overstate it, but I don't want to understate it. I mean, it's either that simple or that complicated, I suppose. I don't know. It helps to be a little bit weird, too. That's a plus, actually. People say, God, they're so different, so different. Well, that makes it probably easier to differentiate, so it doesn't bother me. I'll take it. I said before, it's like, I'm glad I'm Pooh and Tigger instead of Pooh and Piglet, because they're both kind of soft-spoken, and that would be harder to differentiate, And it's easy, and I like bouncing, so. I don't know if I guess I was inspired, but I've been doing it, I always joke, I would do like dolphins and everything in grade school, and I knew this like at the age of 4 or 5, that I would see, let's see, Mel Blanc was on the Jack Benny show when I was quite young, and then Paul Winchell had a show. He was the original Tigger. He had a show, Paul Winchell and Jerry Mahoney show, and he had ventriloquist dummies, and and those guys used to freak me out all the time, and so they inspired me for sure, but I kind of knew that I was going to do it really, really early on. I would get in trouble for certain things, and I'd say, well, geez, if Bugs Bunny said that, he wouldn't have been in trouble, So I kind of segued and moved it into, I'm not in trouble anymore, I guess is what I'm saying, Well, at the time, 31 years ago, there was very little out there at that time. It was from the 60s, when I was in the audience. There was only the first 3 there. I mean, I guess I don't think he was as iconic then as he is now. I mean, after 30-some years of shows and movies and cartoons and songs, and he's has a bigger, obviously, body of work now. But back then there was only the first 3 there, and I thought it was beautiful because I liked the characters myself, and I wasn't Tigger right away. It took a while for Paul Winchell. He was going back and forth. He wasn't quite retired yet, and of course now God bless, they both passed on. But at the time it was Disney and ABC were 2 separate companies, and somebody had the idea to bring back. Remember that bear with the Tigger and the rabbit? Let's make a cartoon of them. I'm glad they did, because I was there to audition. But at the time it wasn't, the Christopher Robin movie. No, wasn't there. It seems like, we had a bad run there where everything was flatulence and nose paste, and I thought, gosh. I don't know. That's going to be tough to get nostalgic over. Remember when cartoons everybody just was farting and burping. That was, oh boy, they don't make them like that. See, you're not going to have that conversation. I don't think, anyway. But the idea that there were stories and you cared about them, and there was this little mouse, and she was a mouse, and she hung out with these 2 chipmunks. We don't know. It kept you thinking. Well, maybe not about that, but they were storylines, and you ended up caring about them, and I think it's just it's not on sand, it's on rock,
Yeah.
So when you're nostalgic for the good old days, that's okay. They were pretty good. Yeah. Well, I think it's just awful, I don't care about anybody's politics when I'm watching a cartoon show, or unless it's for that, But they don't. But it seems to permeate everything. More certainly in America, it's just I end up rolling my eyes half the time. There's a sitcom on, and somebody will say something about this or that, and it'll be political this way or political that way. I don't care wish one or you wanted to vote for, you know what I mean? Can we just, you know, they did that at Hamilton too, this big play. They get this big spiel at the end of their own particular political view, and it's so closed-minded. And, you know, the lack of diversity of thought, you know, the intolerance for another opinion is, I find, reprehensible. And I don't want to, like Seinfeld or Winnie the Pooh or the EastEnders or any of that. I mean, you know, keep your politics at home. That's what I just want to see the ballet or whatever it was. I want to ride the merry-go-round. Yeah. Yeah, Hondo's great. I'm crazy about Hondo. He's one of my all-time favorites. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Yes. You know, you don't want to play cards with him, but you know, if he opens up a bank, don't invest. I love the guy. It's been, you know, he's there's a lot going on out there. Star Wars Land. That I think you should just wait and see what happens. It's one of those crazy things. Half the stuff I'm doing is like, well, you don't talk about it. Like, oh, come on. Okay. Oh, we'll talk about it later, though. We can talk about Christopher Robin, the movie now. That was a big one. Couldn't tell anybody about it. Never heard of it. What do you... you know. Okay, we can talk about it. It's like, shh. Okay, what are you so quiet? You know, keep going. So it's good. Yeah. Are we there?
I think we're out of time to talk now. Yeah,
I can feel the hover.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jen. Thank you.
I don't know where this goes,
you.
but